right now. Right now. Right now.
Are you ready to be free? Have you discovered that you and your partner love each other? Life is monotonous. If you're looking for a boost, I have got you covered. This is the ideal book for you. Though we were all focused on COVID, a quarantine situation, go ahead and I want you to go ahead and order it from Amazon. Click the link below. Erotic Liberations. Yes, Erotic Liberations. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, Erotic Liberations is extremely common, but this is steamy. It is sultry. That it was taken down from Twitter. It was taken down from Facebook. This book will lead you to a climax that you have not experienced before. Believe me, you will just keep flipping the pages. Never before reached. Erotic Liberations is 50 years old, and it has nothing. This book, 50 Shades of Grey, has nothing on this book. It would tend to be a Dr. Seuss novel. Improve the inventiveness, entertain you, while also assisting in the raising of that temperature. You know, we're all looking for a crazy number, don't we? You already know that we need to find our inner freak person who was imprisoned in the all is well in the enclosure. Erotic Liberations has all of that. It will blow your mind. You and your partner have the power to blow each other away throughout the night. And now it's the time to get erotic on Amazon. Grab Erotic Liberations by Karen Green and Marlon Green. They are the authors of this book. Click the link below. And if you love to shop, head on over to Withglam Boutiques. She has nothing for the skinny women, unfortunately, for myself. She needs to stop hating and get something on there for the women with no curves at all, such as myself. Nothing in the back. Only thing I dislike about that. This site is only for women with curves and men with curves. Withglamboutiques.com. Click the link in the below.
Well, I should have took some pictures before night started. It's the end of the night, and then we'll. So we coming to you live. Diddy late nights. Anything can happen. I'm just vibing. It's some wine.
You gotta keep the air.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna wear this here in Toronto.
Ain't nobody. Hey, yo, let me ask you a question.
When I get to
That mother floating like a cloud, like you had cloud.
yeah, I love this drink.
Where you put my bag
I like
at?
when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, where you put my bag
Daddy,
at?
I like when you
It's right
scrambling
here,
and scraping for
no,
shit.
No, I got
I
notes
like
and
that.
shit. You know, I'll be practicing. I got
Eyes, brother.
Oh, man.
Eyes. I understand. I understand.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. You know, I'm a type of nigga, I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying? I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? They're like, you know, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas.
The nigga Puff was like, yeah, like first he was amping him to get style. Then he was like, so when we gonna get the chance to, you know, to kick it, like we could just hang out, nigga. We gotta kick it.
This is
Puff.
Okay.
He telling me we gotta kick it and shit. And he was like, yo, why don't we like go shopping or some shit? I mean, like I pay for it. And I was like, what the fuck this nigga just said? I got the fuck away from him because I was like, this nigga like fucking. This nigga just tell me he'd take me shopping. And this is shit that goes on. But this is a little fruit pop. It's a fruit pop. It's a fruit pop. Trust me. You see these little weird ass pictures and shit like that out there. You sitting out there for no reason. You don't see accident pictures of me like kissing niggas. Like that doesn't happen by accident.
Okay. Now, first of all, Diddy, I want to say, please don't let me catch you in that wig. If I catch you with that wig on, ugly as you look, and he was feeling himself. If y'all looked at his eyes, baby, he was high, he was drunk, and he wanted some dick that night. He said, I think I should wear this wig in Toronto. He wanted some dick that night. Now, if you pay careful attention to the details, you'll notice that 50 Cent, that clip that we just listened to, he's claiming 100th of a cent that P. Diddy offered to pick him up. You know, the P. Diddy wanted to take him shopping the way that men take women shopping. That's all. You know, how hip-hop works, if you're a part of it. Groupies, you know, and the rest of the hand. Remember the side chicks and all of them, how they are taken shopping by people, you know, sprees and stuff like that, utilizing these. He's like, bruh, artists are so lost. 50 like, I'm so wealthy, man, I don't need you to support me. I'm going shopping. I'm not that type of guy, man. I don't need your gay ass taking me shopping. And 50, you should have saw the look in his eyes when Puffy asked to take him shopping. 50 damn near slammed his ass. As far as you're aware, that's the case, but it's sort of gay. Diddy clearly seeks to separate these guys alone, and 50 didn't want to be alone with his ass, that he may try to turn them around and try to buy them for sex. You aware, but pay attention to the way he acts. He tries to get Fabulous alone. You realize he's alone in the next clip, definitely aiming for someone like Fabulous as he is. Now, he tried to target 50 people. However, that shit wasn't working with 50. 50 was like, he gave up. He gave up after a minute. After trying to get that ass from 50, he damn near got his ass whooped fucking with trying to get 50's ass. Fabulous, on the other hand, he wasn't aware of it. He didn't know how Diddy rolled and how Diddy was trying to get some of that ass for his birthday. He wanted some of that birthday ass. In the next clip, we're going to be going over what you all about to be watching. Okay, and he was like, bro, we're going to a party together. Diddy, on the other hand, is like, no, we don't know. Essentially, he like, but see, bro, we've never done this before. We ain't never partied alone. All right. Okay, so in that movie, you can clearly see that Fabulous is uninterested in doing something alone with Diddy, with respect to being alone. Okay, there are a lot of things to do with Diddy alone. There are stories floating around about Diddy and what he does when he is in the company of artists, male artists in particular. Fabulous, on the other hand, is not interested in any of his pieces. Okay, for the bulk of heterosexual men. They don't want anything to be forced upon them. They are unconcerned with homosexuality, the majority of straight men. It doesn't matter whether you know gay men or not. Whether it's about women being gay or something else. They usually don't want to be a part of it, to do with it, as you are aware. It's Fabulous. Okay, just like, bruh, no. I just don't want to go to your wedding. He was looking like it is disgusting. Okay, now let's move on to the next clip and see what we've got. And show off the rapper. P. Diddy has had a lot to say about it.
Nah, I mean, well, as a single man, you know what I'm saying, I have no shame in my game with that. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was at the time, and we went to Florida. We got invited to a Puffy party, the New Year's Eve party. Went to the party. You know,
all dudes.
Yeah. Nah, it was actually a good party. You know what I'm saying? It was on South Beach, right?
Right.
So then we go to the house, and then he invited us to the house because he wanted to go to the club afterwards, right? I was like, okay, cool. So Superhead is with me. You know what I'm saying? Karen is with me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever.
Superhead.
Yeah. So she takes me. Puffy calls me outside. He's like, hey man, you know that girl you know about the girl you. I was like, yeah, nigga, everybody know about. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? You know, he's like, that's the devil, man. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what you mean that's the devil?
The devil got a pretty mouth.
Yeah, and I was like, what you mean that's the devil? You know, and then he was like, yeah, man, she videotaped you with fingers in the booty.
That's a new
movie. You know
movie.
what I'm saying? I was
the
like,
devil
what?
sucks penis.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Rewind. I heard a penis and a finger in the ass story. What?
She said
so Puffy tells you that
she will videotape you with fingers in the booty. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Confession.
So then I go back in the house and I ask her, what the fuck are you talking about? He said you're a filmer. No, I did ask him. He's just like, whatever. He went off and did his thing. And I was like,
he limping?
He walked away and a nail fell out his boot.
No, I'm gonna clear this shit up because I'm not gonna have my name. I ain't gonna have my name out there crazy like that.
Go ahead.
So then she say, I told him what he told me, and she was like, oh, she started laughing like a motherfucker. I'll tell you later. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna make a big deal of it, whatever. So then then I guess he's had some prior incident with her that he don't want nobody to know about. You know what I'm saying? So we get into the truck. He said, let's go to this club. So everybody probably the car. The car is fucking silent. You know what I'm saying? We get to this club, and then we walk in the back way. It's a VIP lounge. Ain't nobody in there. And then, the club is going. It's all jumping. And then I'm sitting there with old girl. So he's dealing his business. We go down and get a drink. We sitting there bobbing to the music, and then she point over the corner. It's two dudes kissing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay. Then there's girls in the club too, and then she point another direction. It's another dude over there, like butt ass naked dancing. You know what I'm saying? We take off, man. You know what I'm saying? We leave the club directly. I didn't say peace to nobody. I didn't see nobody.
Gay.
Yeah, it was suspect. A lot of suspect.
The club was
you could chalk it up to being in Miami or whatever.
I've
been in a gang. I've been in a gang of clubs, man.
The club was called.
And I ain't never mistakenly stepped into a club having that kind of activity. You know what I'm saying? So
me neither.
There it is. So we took a cab home back to
the Ink, and we ended up at Mamba, a club on the west side. We ventured through the club, entourage in tow, and made our way to the outdoor patio and out to the back parking lot. I stood there beside Gotti as Diddy walked up to him. They greeted each other with a slap of the right hand. Diddy held a drink in his left. He seemed to be as intoxicated as we were. I stood there looking at him while they spoke, when all of a sudden he turned and looked right at me. His conversation with Gotti was abruptly cut short as he took a few steps closer to me, grabbed my hand and said, "I want you. Can I have you?" Then Diddy turned to Gotti and said, "My bad, dog. Is this you?" Gotti quickly said, "Nah, it's cool. This Gisette. She's cool people." "Can she come with me?" Diddy asked. I wanted to leave with Diddy right then. The ecstasy had me in a mood where whatever I felt normally was heightened 100%. Even the wind on my face made me orgasmic. Right there in front of me, Gotti and Diddy made arrangements for me to meet Diddy at his house in an hour. "I'll send her to you in a little bit," Gotti said. "Give me the address." I didn't understand why Gotti didn't let me go with Diddy right then, but he took the address and got back in the limo. We went back to Le Hermitage, and after we took more ecstasy, Gotti was tearing away at my clothes. Gotti had a strange bedside manner. He would get rough at times, which I could handle when we were high. He also liked to compare himself to other men. He would want to know how they were built and how they had sex. He wanted to know if I liked Diddy and if I was going to sleep with him when I got over there. "You gonna do him good, huh?" Gotti asked. I just wanted him to hurry and shut up so I could make my way to Cannon Drive to meet up with Diddy. Gotti sent me on my way and gave me a key to his room so I wouldn't wake him when I returned. It was 4 a.m. when I pulled up to Diddy's home in my SUV. There were security guards in the driveway, all of them dressed in dark suits with their hands clasped in front of them. They stood at attention, waiting for me to approach the gate. They had been expecting me, and they let me in the gate and into the house through the garage. I stood in the hallway, waiting for Diddy. My body was hot as the drugs and alcohol continued to feed off of each other. After just a few minutes, Diddy greeted me and showed me to the nearest bedroom where Farnsworth Bentley, Diddy's self-proclaimed manservant, had been sleeping. Diddy woke him and gestured for him to leave the room. My guess was that there was someone upstairs in Diddy's room and that this was to be my first and final destination within the home. "So who is Gotti to you?" he asked. "And is he cool with this?" "Gotti's my boy," I said. "When I see something I want, he lets me have it." With that slight formality out of the way, Diddy and I spent the next 15 minutes or so engaging in the usual. After the experience, he said, "You're one of the best." I said the same to him, when in actuality, he was average. Our sexual encounter was pretty straightforward, nothing out of the ordinary. Before I left, he asked me to meet him back at the house the next morning around 11:30 for brunch. I emphatically accepted and traveled back to lay Emertage and to Gotti, who was asleep. I crawled into bed and fell asleep beside him. The next morning, Gotti wanted details. I really had nothing to say about my experience with Diddy. He was polite and gentle, and I actually preferred him as a person over Gotti, who was cocky and nasty at times. Gotti seemed a bit frustrated with my unwillingness to give details, and even more irritated by the fact that I had been invited back for brunch. He always wanted to present me as his resident whore, but hated it when anyone actually wanted to keep me around, which happened quite often. He almost relished the idea of people using me and then throwing me away, like yesterday's newspaper. But I was beaming from ear to ear as I got dressed to head back to Diddy's house. Gotti left in a hurry, with a look of disgust on his face, and that made me even happier. Back at Diddy's, I was received with open arms by him and his entire staff. I met him upstairs in his dressing quarters, where his tailor was fitting him for the upcoming MTV Music Awards. I was awestruck by the vast array of suits, ties, shirts, and shoes. They were so obviously rich in fabric and texture, and he was handsome in everything that he tried on. I stood by the French doors, drinking in the sun, as Farnsworth Bentley sat intently on the floor next to me with his legs crossed Indian style. He looked up at Diddy with a gleam of admiration. Everyone in the home was devoted to Diddy and catered to all of his needs, and, for the afternoon, all of mine. Brunch was served on a long rectangular table in the dining room. Diddy and I sat and talked about who I was and about my relationship with Gotti. He listened, but didn't have much to say. He was extremely kind, and I remember him complimenting me, saying I was very pretty and had beautiful skin. I began to understand all the hype about Diddy, why he is this pop culture icon. He's got that star quality, that's something which draws people to him and makes them want to be in his space and part of his world. I was no different. By the end of the afternoon, I'd become easily enamored.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, yo, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed, at all. I should look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. I should.
Fresh off the garden stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like, just
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp?
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really.
Come on.
But it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to... Diddy ass is just disgusting. I mean, for real, he is just disgusting. Okay, so according to Usher, he went to Diddy in this video. He went to Diddy's house. Okay, remember, he was just 13 years old at this time. And he saw a lot of things when he was there. Stuff he didn't think he'd be able to see. Okay, and let me clarify. As a consequence, with Usher pretending to be a male heterosexual, if there's a group of attractive people, as well as a slew of orgies that are actually taking place, and other aspects of that sort that you're aware of, and they're surrounded by beautiful people, your flow of conscious, you know, you're familiar with bikinis and such. You're not familiar with men and such. Why not let nature speak for itself? Okay, Usher is still claiming that there are a lot of odd things going on and stuff he didn't realize, he didn't recognize, he would be able to get into, or that you're conscious, you know, he may be a part of it. Since homosexual acts were committed there, okay, there was a lot, and as a result of the homosexual activities that was going on around him, the 13-year-old he didn't get it when a boy meets he did get it when a boy meets a young lady, so he didn't get it because he was around all those men. The majority of men are aware of this, but when a boy meets a girl, it's okay. But boy was there can be perplexing. So let's keep it easy. Okay, paying attention. Let's keep paying attention here and see what's going on.
Didn't understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, you know, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand.
Okay, again, according to Usher, there were a lot of interested people, stuff that was going on in a curious way. If it was just a group of women who were going around and Danny was shouting and yelling, sleeping with a slew of females, why didn't he just say, why keep doing this? Why wouldn't he just state that? Keeping an open mind and basically saying that I am unable to obtain, since Usher is aware of those things. When these things are revealed, he refuses to be a part of it. Diddy is aware of this. When it's gay, there's a lot going on. Usher was rumored to be 13 years old when he lied. Diddy is still sleeping with him. Okay, now let's get down to the business. In actuality, Diddy states it himself. Listen to this.
I mean, back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real.
It's nasty. It's nasty. I happen to know Diddy fucks boys. It's nasty. It's nasty. That's, man, you keep that shit right over. You have that shit go right past me. It's nasty. It's nasty. You like boy pussy. He like to play with people.
This isn't alleged because it happened.
No. There's nothing alleged about this.
Okay.
It is a legend.
Clap. Yay, we are comedians. All right, go for it.
We're so lonely. So
I'm fucking goblins.
I went to a party on Star Island in Miami, where P. Diddy has a private residence. I had no business being there. I was with a famed house producer who was DJing the party.
Sure.
And I will keep his name out of it.
Yep.
And I took a whole bunch of ecstasy because everyone there was taking ecstasy. It was basically me and like beautiful like ethnic models, like just beautiful women who I obviously had no interest in because
it's the Big Pimpin' video.
That's not my type.
Right. We're gonna stick to Peppa, please.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to Peppa and ghouls from Us Weekly.
Right.
So I'm like kind of stumbling around. It's like, it's all like, my man is telling me that like, every third person is some executive, got behind the scenes guys who I don't recognize.
It's a high-end crowd.
Very high-end. And there's no joke, there's maybe 100 people.
Okay.
I mean, it is intimate.
It's a serious
I have no business
party.
being there.
Sure.
I'm in like like an old Jewish grandmother's windbreaker like I am now at this exact moment.
Right.
And so long story short, I am on ecstasy and I'm trying to find the bathroom and I can't find the bathroom and I just kind of like go down a flight of stairs and now I'm in like the inner windings of the mansion because most of it's going down by the pool.
Okay.
Cabanas and stuff.
Dragon's Lair.
Yeah,
we're getting serious.
So I get lost and I'm in like just a maze of rooms.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking for the bathroom. I start opening doors. One's like a closet. One's a room. It doesn't have a bathroom in it. Whatever. Every room should have a bathroom in it.
That makes sense.
First of all,
if you're in this fucking
every
dungeon,
room should have, right.
Every house
so
should
I
have.
open a door, and in that room there are a bunch of men, and they're all kind of like very like Romanesque, like laying about. and kind of like very like kind of leaning on each other, not really spooning, but like conversationally spooning. Like if you were spooning but facing each other and like leaning up on your elbow and talking.
Like how about this? Like in public, watching TV with a bunch of your friends, and you're with your girlfriends.
Right. Yes.
It would be like those guys kind of lounging on their girlfriends, but they're not fucking because that would be weird
they
in
weren't
public.
Fucking,
right.
But like you almost think that they should be feeding each other grapes, stuff like that.
Okay.
Like, it was very like
regal lounging,
very erotic.
Okay. All right.
Heavy erotica.
Yeah, like the drawings you would see of like old Greek
right,
hangouts.
Exactly.
Yeah, I understand.
Or like a fat Greek woman like laid on her side.
Yeah, it would almost be the prelude to an orgy.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh my god. Oh
Okay.
my god. It was so prelude to an orgy.
So explain.
So I look. So I'm there for a very brief amount of time because I open the door and clearly I'm not supposed to be in there. And I look, and who is lounging in my direct eye line? Puff Daddy and Felix the House Cat, famed house music producer.
Yeah, no, I know
are
who that is.
basically spooning each other. I swear to God, they're basically spooning, and they're drinking a glass of Hennessy, and they're like sharing it. They're like passing it back and forth,
And everyone's talking?
and everyone's just like talking.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I see them, I'm like,
All men, though. There's not
all
one
men,
woman in this room.
all men, and
Yeah.
they're all 100% on ecstasy. Like you can see Diddy's in like white linen being like, oh my god, like rub ice on my nipples,
Right.
like oh, you're one of my best friends.
Right.
So the minute I make eye contact with him, like a gigantic bouncer comes over and says, "Get the fuck out!" Because a lot of people turned and looked at me because it was very unexpected that like a fat guy with an afro,
Right.
with, like no shirt on, basically like an open windbreaker, opened the door to like this like.
You are kind of a buzzkill.
Definitely.
If I'm on ecstasy and
Right,
getting
no.
ready for a gay
They're like,
orgy.
oh, this guy. Oh, he looks like fucking Gillette Gene Shalit. So, but I looked right at Puff Daddy, and he looked right at me.
Yeah.
And we made direct eye contact. And I got kicked out of the room.
Sure.
So that was that.
Yeah, fast. And obviously
So,
crazy. Fast
crazy.
forward.
So I was like, P. Diddy's clearly on ecstasy, and
Yeah.
he's clearly gay.
Yeah.
So fast forward, right? We're at a junket for a movie that he was in. Someone is interviewing him. I'm in the back as a friend of someone who was there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all the way in the back. I'm behind a million publicists, a million people.
But you see him.
Well, he's being interviewed on the
And
couch.
you're thinking about it.
Oh, I'm thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
By the way, anyone I ever told the story to was like, oh, you're a liar.
I don't think you're a liar.
Everybody was like, you're a liar. Like, I'm sure something happened, and they knew I was on Star Island. Like, that was verified
Yeah.
by the other person I was with.
Sure.
But people were like, you're a liar. You didn't see them sharing a glass of Hennessy. Like, you didn't see Prelude to, like, an orgy. Like, this is bullshit. Like,
Right.
you're being funny. Like, Fat Jew's hilarious.
Sure.
So, a couple people said they believed me, but I think they were lying. So, he's being interviewed in the middle of the interview for this movie. I mean, I'm sure you can guess what movie it is, because I think he was only in a movie.
Right. At least recently.
Yes. He literally stops the interview and he points at me all the way in the back and he goes, yo, you, my man. And everyone in the room turns around and looks at me and he goes, where do I know you from?
Oh, no.
And then I go, Miami? And he goes, oh, true. And we locked eyes again, and he knew that I knew that he knew that I knew that he knew that I knew that he drinks the milk of other men.
Wow.
This happened.
Has anything happened since?
No.
Nothing.
There's been no follow-up.
Were
Now-
you nervous at all in like a Breaking Bad kind of way that maybe people were going to be sent to your house or something? Like,
Oh, 100%.
Because I'd be a
100%.
little nervous.
See, now, what I'm doing to combat that is by talking about it publicly on
And then you're,
podcast
yeah, because this will come back.
Right,
yeah.
right. Because
Yeah.
I'm most safe if I talk about it publicly.
That's so crazy.
Right. Because now people know
Yeah.
that I've got dirt.
Yeah.
So, like, I need you to hold this podcast
No, it's
down.
it's archived.
Yo, this is going to be some Jason Bourne shit.
No, I
You're going
know.
to have it on, like, a tiny microfilm, and they're going to be chasing you across Europe.
Now, this comedian's name is Josh, and he goes by moniker, okay, and or Fat Jew. And several people say that he was chasing clout once more, but this time he wasn't successful. He wasn't being truthful when he told the truth. Sincere, especially if you're dating someone he hasn't met yet. He hasn't denied the news, you know. He hasn't denied it. If you haven't told the truth about that, it's because you haven't told the truth about it, or if you don't believe it or not. Maybe you'll believe it if you don't believe Fat Jew. Maybe you'll believe this comedian that I'm about to show you instead.
To be gay in Hollywood, you never fucking expected. They be having these big ass mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited than a motherfucker to be at the mansion party. You be looking at all the goddamn rooms, and you fuck around and look in the wrong room and shit. Nigga, come here. Come here. Is that two niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Ovi? He came out the closet. He came out the closet. Oh my God, a rubber. Shut the goddamn door.
Now, the scenario is the same as Fat Jews, okay? He states that he was at a mansion party. He states that there were random rooms. And Cat also states that there was certain homosexual activities going on in these Hollywood parties, mainly Diddy's parties. So, hey, it's up to you. Do you choose to believe it or you choose not to? Let's get into the next.
Hey, yo. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said let me pick it up.
That's why
I said pick it up from right there. This why I gotta pick it up from right there.
Look at this nigga. This is a nigga.
Go ahead.
No, bro.
Killing.
Bro. Come tell the story. Bro, we're intoxicated.
This is Tony Newman, and you're watching That's Hot. In my book, The Memoir I Rise, published in April 2011, I mention rapper, actors, producers, and some of those that I have spoke publicly on is LL Cool J. I met as a street prostitute 15, 16 years ago.
Baby girl was draped in Chanel.
The encounter with LL Cool J was a one-time encounter. I serviced LL Cool J. I knew it was LL Cool J, and he knew, in fact, I was transgender. It was like any other encounter I had. I got paid. I performed the service. Thank you. Never spoke again. We didn't text, email, call. We didn't exchange any numbers or contact information. I never saw him again. I saw Eddie Murphy 15, 16 years ago pick up friends of mine on that street block in New York City.
Hey boy, you look mighty cute in them jeans.
Eddie Murphy was on the strip during that time, come out a lot, and he not only recruited but paid very well several transgender friends of mine who I saw get in his car, and I also saw them get out his car with several $100s. So I know for a fact Eddie Murphy, ever since '96, has been utilizing transgender prostitutes.
Did he ever tell him? Did he ever tell him to keep it quiet, or did he ever tell him?
I don't know if since I didn't have a one-on-one encounter with him, I don't know the verbiage that he used. I'm assuming since we were street prostitutes, I guess he never thought we'd tell anybody anyway.
Are you ready to be free? Have you discovered that you and your partner love each other? Life is monotonous. If you're looking for a boost, I have got you covered. This is the ideal book for you. Though we were all focused on COVID, a quarantine situation, go ahead and I want you to go ahead and order it from Amazon. Click the link below. Erotic Liberations. Yes, Erotic Liberations. It's a lot of fun. As you can see, Erotic Liberations is extremely common, but this is steamy. It is sultry. That it was taken down from Twitter. It was taken down from Facebook. This book will lead you to a climax that you have not experienced before. Believe me, you will just keep flipping the pages. Never before reached. Erotic Liberations is 50 years old, and it has nothing. This book, 50 Shades of Grey, has nothing on this book. It would tend to be a Dr. Seuss novel. Improve the inventiveness, entertain you, while also assisting in the raising of that temperature. You know, we're all looking for a crazy number, don't we? You already know that we need to find our inner freak person who was imprisoned in the all is well in the enclosure. Erotic Liberations has all of that. It will blow your mind. You and your partner have the power to blow each other away throughout the night. And now it's the time to get erotic on Amazon. Grab Erotic Liberations by Karen Green and Marlon Green. They are the authors of this book. Click the link below. And if you love to shop, head on over to withglam Boutiques. She has nothing for the skinny women, unfortunately, for myself. She needs to stop hating and get something on there for the women with no curves at all, such as myself. Nothing in the back. Only thing I dislike about that. This site is only for women with curves and men with curves. Withglamboutiques.com. Click the link in the below. All right, and don't you all forget, also, if you want the chance to win $50,000, remember to fill out the link below for the survey. Remember to leave your real name, your real email, and you can win. You can have a chance to win $50,000. All you have to do is submit. There is no scamming. There won't be not scamming, no spamming. So make sure to fill that out. Leave your correct name and email. And for the holiday, you could be finding yourself as a winner. They will be given 10. It will be split up in between 10 people, but 10 people will be splitting up a total of $50,000. So click the link in the description below and just submit your name and email, and you can enter. And have a good day. Thanks.